It's Friday the 13th of April 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. So 13 came into the universe. In Jin Shin Jitsu, just by the way, there's nothing lucky or unlucky about this number. It's a beautiful number. 13 came into the universe meaning fertility. Love your enemies. So safety interlock number 13 is located here on either side of the breastbone. And if you'll remember from, I think it was Tuesday when it was the 10th, I told you safety interlock number 10 is located midway down the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade and the spine. Safety interlock number 10 is directly behind safety interlock number 13, and that's the warehouse of abundance, really. Remember? So 13 is about fertility. It's about creativity. It's about what can you birth? What can you tap into so that you can offer it to the world, to yourself? And it is about love thy enemies, because not loving your enemies is part of what blocks your warehouse of abundance. So now, loving your enemies, in my opinion, is not about forgiving your enemies. Because when you forgive someone, what you're actually saying is, you messed up, I'm better than you, so I'm going to overlook that and make it okay. It's not okay. All right? I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that. Luckily, not too many people watch this, so it should be okay. Loving your enemies is seeing that whatever you perceive they did that has made them your enemy had just as many benefits to you as what it had drawbacks. So I don't know, I had a little rant earlier this week as well about not making the lists and not actually want to do the work, but actually wanting to have the gift. Of course, we all want to just be able to love everyone, right? Well, actually, it takes practice. So loving your enemy also includes yourself. And in order to love your enemy, you have to appreciate the benefits of their downsides. And they're their enemy because they showed you the downsides. So if you've been betrayed, if you've been abandoned, if you've been rejected, if you've been lied to, whatever has made that person your enemy, we're not denying that that caused pain or that it was negative. It's that it had pain and it had pleasure. So in other words, you were forced to be or do or have. You were forced to step up to the plate and overcome that somehow. And everything that you got, everything that made you recover from that is a benefit. And if that person hadn't done that to you, you wouldn't have had any of those benefits. So no event, person or circumstance is actually good or bad until someone judges it through the filter of their value system. That is a challenging statement. It's a challenging belief. I still struggle with it all the time, but for me, I do know that it is true. So when you connect to safety interlock number 13, you open your heart. You help to fill your warehouse of abundance. You open your heart to yourself and you open your heart to others. 13 is a 4. 4 is about breaking self-imposed boundaries. 4 is about getting out of the box. So if your box has said that the reason why that person is your enemy is because they are all bad and you have had no benefit from that experience, that's the box that 4 potentially helps you to break. Safety interlock number 13, just incidentally, causes inner transformation. It's also known as the fountain of youth. It's on either side of your thymus gland, right? It's known as the fountain of youth. So when safety interlock number 13 is open, you access the fountain of youth because you access the warehouse of abundance, the unlimited abundance that is available to you, which is, of course, what then keeps you young. And it causes an inner transformation that eventually manifests as an external transformation. That's why it is the fountain of youth. Big A. Okay, so safety interlock number 13 is on the middle finger. You'll remember yesterday, 12, aligning your will with divine will, was also on the middle finger, and safety interlock number 13 is also on the middle finger. So hang on to that middle finger, right? Because it can cause deep inner transformation, which then leads to outer transformation also. I'm going to need about 50 years. Maybe my hair will go less grey. I don't think so. Okay, so we've got a 4. We've got a 4 from 13, and we've got the 4 from April. So that means we really are. Today is a day for us to just get the hell out of those prisons. It's a day for us to break boundaries. It's a day for us to expand ourselves into a vision for ourselves. What is it that you want to be like? Okay. And in order to be like that, what would you need to do? Because 4 is an earth number, it's practical. So what would you need to do in order to be that future version of yourself that you want to be? And if you did that, what could you have? And so we are so limited by what we can be, usually because of what we're prepared to do. And then we are also limited in what we can have. So we don't take action because we think we don't deserve to have whatever that is. And this double 4 enables us to connect to that true vision. Not just the vision of what you want to be, but what you'd need to do in order to get there. And once you got there, what could you have? And then once you had that, what could you do with what you have? Magnificent. Nothing unlucky about today. We've got the 2 of 2018, which helps to bring the balance, right? Which says, yes, you can envisage the wonderfulness of yourself, but you know what you need to do. So what practically could you do to get there? And how can you nurture yourself through the process? Instead of hating on yourself because you're not there, can you be kind to yourself and nurture yourself so that you can become that vision that you have for yourself and your life? The hero of today is the 1. And the hero in the 1 position is, I am enough. I can be that. I can connect to that vision that I have for myself. I can break those boundaries and I can take responsibility. I can take responsibility for learning to love my enemy. Not my enemy needs to change in order for me to love them. So 1 really helps us to connect to that energy of the 13 today. The villain today is the 5. 5 is the analysis paralysis, overthinking, becoming anxious. Oh my God, I haven't forgotten all my energy, my enemies. Didn't know about safety energy lock number 13. I haven't been holding my middle finger all day. 5 overanalyzes and then becomes anxious. So just know that. So when you find yourself heading into that hectic anxiety, allow yourself a couple minutes to just connect to it. Feel it. Say, you know what, anxiety, I get you. You're there. I see that you're there. I recognize that you're there. I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to you. And then realize that is just one aspect of yourself. Hold your middle finger. If you find yourself going into analysis paralysis, hold your thumb. Because the thumb harmonizes worry and anxiety. But if you hold your middle finger today, you will harmonize your liver and gallbladder organ function energy. You will trust and believe that the vision that you have for yourself is possible and that you deserve it. You will help to harmonize that anger and resentment and disappointment and frustration because your enemy buggered things up, right? And that will allow you to connect to that creativity and that fertility of safety energy lock number 13, which will allow you to birth whatever it is that you are trying to creatively express in the world. I hope you have an amazing Friday the 13th, and I'll speak to you again next week.